Hello, get in there. The Devil's Club is back again. It's me, Chris Brack. It's Kev O'Sullivan, otherwise known as Jammy. It is finished. Newcastle, 10-man Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3 in an absolute mental game. So, as you can see below, Kev's just put the Patreon up there. So, if you want to join our Patreon, please click on the QR code there because at 11:15 tonight, Gav is going to do a bit more of a deep dive analysis of that mental game. Kev and I are going to do vibes because that's kind of how me and Kev roll. But fuck me, Kev. I'm both elated and proper pissed off at the same time. It's a weird sensation watching Liverpool, isn't it?
It's absolute insanity. The reason I put that my name is that we got away with murder tonight.
Oh,
we did. We absolutely robbed them of 3 points. We were atrocious for large parts of that game, and at the very least, Newcastle can gripe that they deserve the point out of it. But up steps the young man. Up steps Rio Ngumoha, and slots away an absolute beauty. The composure, the absolute sheer audacity of a 16-year-old kid to have that level of composure in the 90-odd minute of a game away from home where you are on the verge of throwing it away, to turn up and do that. I tell you what an absolute belter of a goal. And look, an absolute madhouse of a game, a crazy game. It's one of those typical Liverpool-Newcastle absolute mayhem football games that seems to be thrown up quite a lot. And look, 3 points. Hopefully, we're looking back on this in May and say, what a 3 points that was. We won't care about the performance. But at this minute in time, fuck me. I said to Matt after the last post-match show, do you remember? I said to him, I can't do 38 of these.
We fucking might be able to. I mean, just to peek behind the curtain, I believe the message I sent to Kev, Ashley, and Matt, which shows how much we know about fucking football. I said, yeah, those subs of Rio and Elliot, they're just a message to the board saying I need help. So they ain't what we need in this game. Ashley said, yeah, they ain't what we need in this game. And then we'll go from backwards. We'll start at the end. We'll do the team in a minute. But let's talk about his goal, because he has now become the youngest ever goal scorer for Liverpool, and he's the fourth youngest ever goal scorer to score in the Premier League. I've seen quite a few saying sign Gahey, starting next to Van Dijk. We'll talk about that in a minute, Jono. Because I'm of the opinion
100%.
if we sign Gahey, you still have that bollocks you have tonight, because signing a centre back is needed. That isn't the big issue. No. The big issue is there is no fucking balance in that side. It's almost like last year Liverpool accused of being a bit boring and a bit controlled, and it was 2-0 and that was it. We've gone the other way now. We've gone probably too far down the attacking end, and actually, I hate to say it, maybe look, you're gonna have to sit with one of the big boys down, and maybe like it's a Wirtz or a Gakpo or a Salah, and say, look, one of you guys sit on the bench. Why? And you're coming on 60, because you can't keep doing that. That's fine if you're playing like Leeds at home, but we played that against Arsenal. Fuck me. But as Emmett says, Max don't me bollocks. Which I quite like. I mean, to be fair, he is 15. He's not scored yet though. So he came on. He had one little run, and look, they had two on him already, because the one thing he's got is pace. And look, Newcastle wanted sense blood to maybe nick it a win, but they certainly want to lose it.
Yeah,
it's a nice build on the right hand side. Mo Salah, with the only thing he did all game, puts in a lovely cross. It's a great dummy by, I think it's Sobersley, isn't it, who dummies it, and at first that bends it, and it was one of those goals where as soon as he connected, you went, that's him. That's the type of goal we've seen Salah score. I've seen Mane. Owen, that was Owen's favourite sort of shot. So there's just certain shots as soon as it hits you, fuck me, that's going in.
Yeah.
And listen, that's mad. That 16 years old, he's 17 years, 3 days.
That was on the 100th minute. Ridiculous. I mean, for me, look, it was a lovely move. first and foremost. It was a lovely move to get the ball. It would have been so easy for Dominic Szoboszlai to throw his right foot at them,
Yeah.
given the context of everything. But either Rio gave him a shout or he trusted that he was going to be there. Either way, that dummy was outrageously fucking brilliant. And the composure he shows. But Dominic Szoboszlai deserves all the credit in the world for not trying to be the glory boy and
No,
doing
he
the right thing. It would have been so easy for him to, like I said, it's on his strong foot to try and get his foot around it and bang it in. But no,
it also shows how much faith they have in the young lad.
yeah,
Because whereas if it was like I thought if it's a token throw someone on, then they've just gone, well, fuck it. I mean, it's a nice one. I think that's going behind. He sees its keys, and I think he goes, fuck it, I'm going to swing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But it's almost like they've gone, yeah, he can do it.
Look,
So
the thing is,
let's
it's what the game needed, and it
Mhm.
needed it earlier. It needed someone like Rio to come on and carry the ball.
It's what we lack.
Get him on the ball, get him to commit players, and run with it. And then you attract players. You can play quick 1-2. Then you can manipulate and move a side around. It's something that we definitely didn't fucking do.
No. Let's talk about the other positive. The other two positives we'll talk about. One is Hugo Ekitike.
Mm-hmm.
Back-to-back goals in the Premier League. Took his goal really well. I actually thought he fed on scraps, and I thought his link play was pretty good. He was a bit sloppy sometimes on the ball, but in general,
yeah,
I think for a debut game, these first 2 games for the club, I don't think you can ask for much more from your number 9. I think he's done what you want a number 9. So I think the telling thing for Ekitike is both times we've took him off has been around the 2-0 mark, and it proper goes to shit then.
It goes to shit in a big way. It shows how much we desperately need a focal point number 9 first and foremost. But at the same time, look, you're right. He fed on scraps. Go to the first half an hour of the game. Okay, we were trying to go direct. They were pressing. They were man for man. We tried to go direct. Alisson's delivery from deep was absolutely abysmal. He either hit over and it went out of play. He tried to hit Gakpo a few times. Gakpo couldn't get on it. Trippier manhandled Gakpo and maneuvered him out of the way. And they tried to get it to Ekitike, and Ekitike couldn't get on the ball, couldn't position himself in the right way. In fairness, I think with him, he's still learning. If Alisson's got it there, how far is he likely to kick it? Where do I need to be?
Yeah.
That kind of shit. Yeah, and that'll come in time. But for his goal, never mind his goal for a sec. In the first half, the first 30 minutes, it was we couldn't get out. We couldn't string a pass together. And when that started to happen, and we kind of judged Simon Hooper was going to be a homer referee for a while. And the Newcastle crowd, the atmosphere was intense. It was up, and I think it probably did influence the referee. It needed calm heads on the ball, and at times we were so loose with our passing. When we tried to go through the thirds, we kept making bad decisions, and when we tried to go long, we couldn't hold it up. And it just took us to be able to make. I think he made the tactical switch. He put Dominic Szoboszlai into a more inverted role in the first, I'd say, at about 32, 33 minutes. And we started to get a lot more control in the middle of the park from then. And we started to play, and we started to work the ball through the thirds. Before we scored, we had a phase of play, and I was just like, okay, fine, just keep doing that. It didn't work out that time, but just keep moving the ball in the midfield, and you'll create more space because you have the extra man. You're gambling because you're putting Szoboszlai, like Trent used to, inverting into midfield, but it gave you the extra man. It gave us a bit of control. And then the goal comes, and it did absolutely silence St. James's Park with Ryan Gravenberch getting on the ball and fakes to take a shot, takes a touch, and then takes it near post, gave the keeper the eyes, went near post, off the post and in. and completely, totally, 110% against the run of play on 35 minutes.
Oh God,
You know,
Liverpool actually woke up at 1-0, and I think we'll go to the next bit. Cyber Hooper was shite for both sides. Let's
yeah,
have it right. I mean, in the first 3 minutes, the yard dog that is Joe Linton.
yeah,
Some of the Newcastle nonsense we've seen online of, oh, Joe Linton's got to do this. Joe Linton's just a yard dog. He just kicked everyone around, and he went off when he got pushed over by Gravenberch. And they don't like it when he doesn't like it when he gets it back to him. I noticed that, but he should have been booked in the first 5 minutes for very high foot. I've no
yeah,
problems with the Gravenberch yellow. I know what you mean. He's clever. The midfielder, he puts his leg there to be hit, but Gravenberch makes sure he hits it. I think the frustration was he let the game flow, which they keep talking about in the press. Let the game flow, and it led to silliness. And in real time, you saw the Gordon foul on Van Dijk. Thought, oh, that's a naughty one.
yeah,
I hope he's all right. And then I saw Reaper. Thought, fuck me, he could have broke his ankle. And it's only when they saw the Reaper from the other angle, he went, you see his sock. He went, oh, he's gone right down his calf, ripped his sock open. And you see, and there's a video, there's a picture of it going around Van Dijk. It's like top of his calf to bottom of his calf, raked right down.
yeah,
It's a Stonewall red.
yeah,
And they showed it on the screen. Look, Newcastle fans, and look, we all do it. We all get upset when our player gets sent off. Had reminiscence of the Van Dijk red card against Newcastle 2 years ago. It's gone through the player before the ball.
yeah.
And do I think he's gone to do him? No. I think it's a desperation lunge. I think the referee has allowed too much to flow where people think I can get away with throwing this one in. And that's kind of weird. But to be fair to Newcastle, and you've got to be honest, we'll talk about after 2-0, and this is the frustration I have with Liverpool, is you'd have thought we were playing with 10. Newcastle dominated Liverpool at 2, and it's ridiculous.
On the red card a sec, if you remember back to it, Gordon is chasing all the way across the pitch. Van Dijk is almost waiting and waiting to play the pass. And then he plays the pass. By him planting his foot and playing the pass, Gordon was already committed. So he'd already stepped forward that little bit more than what Gordon probably anticipated that he would. So when Gordon went, it is the dictionary definition of a red card. You're out of control. And when you're out of control like that, if Van Dijk didn't play the pass, I think he'd have got the block in. Because the tackle would have been probably a foot behind where he actually planted his feet. But because he played the pass, Gordon couldn't stop because he was out of control. And when I saw it first, I thought, yeah, no way. And then you see the replay from behind, you're like, oh, Jesus.
That had reminiscence of the one on Ipswich player got done for against Saka. Same thing, stood right down the ankle. The difference with this one is he's come with such ferocity. I'll be honest, I was surprised. I had a fear of who's going to play centre back because Van Dijk didn't look too smart after that. I'll be honest, he'll be in an ice bath now for a couple of days with that because it wasn't a great one for them. I mean, look, the problems mounted for Newcastle because Tonali went off with like a shoulder injury, and it looks like Joe has popped his groin. So I know a few people have put in the comments, Heath's price has gone up 10 million for Liverpool. I guarantee any striker's price for Newcastle's gone up another 5-10 million because they're like, well, they got no. But to be fair, they've got a ready-made striker on the bench in
Usula,
who scored. He's very raw. But he's got all the ingredients that you need for a striker. He's quick. I mean, listen, the two rawest players came on the pitch and scored.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the quick on Gravenberch goal, and then we'll talk about their goal. Gravenberch goal, it's the old classic, did him with the eyes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go far post, and he whipped it near post. And it was great finish. He had a very indifferent game, Gravenberch. Looked like it was his first game back, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's great for the goal. I think he's very average for the equaliser, but we'll come on to that in a minute. But the first goal, I've got to say, Kirkes, grow a pair of bollocks, mate. Attack the fucking ball. He's gone from one extreme to the other. In the Bournemouth game, we were all going, he's like a terrier, he's too erratic, he's too this. And this one, he was so timid, he didn't attack anything.
No.
And Bruno Guimaraes, he's good in the air, but he's not a dog. It's not like
he didn't.
It's
Bruno
not Gambler.
Bruno didn't jump.
Yeah,
Bruno got a run on him, and he was coming onto the ball. and Kirkes had his back to it in the end. It was a terrible, terrible
If that's Andy,
piece of
honestly,
defending.
if that's Andy Robertson,
He's getting
honestly,
slaughtered.
get slaughtered. I'm just calling it now. I would generally start Andy Robertson against Arsenal because he hasn't got the pace, and that's going to be a problem against Saka. He's got the fucking nous though, to at
He's
least see
played
things
against
out,
Saka. He knows
and he's
Saka
played against
inside out.
Saka and set pieces, back post headers. Honestly, if I'm Arsenal, I'm going right wherever Kirkes is, put your best header near him because he fucking doesn't fancy it. And I think Kirkes needs this wake up call of you're playing for the champions now, mate. You're playing Champions League level footy. You need to go up levels because the current level you're playing at, it ain't good enough.
Yeah. Super Dizzle makes a point there. Kirk is young; he will learn. You hope so. I mean, we paid a good chunk of change for him, right? And we saw with Bournemouth going forward, he's very good. All right, we know he's very good going forward. Defensively, he lacks. He does lack. He had moments in the game tonight where I thought he was really good. Now, he was up against, without doubt, the fastest player in the Premier League in Anthony Elanga.
Sorry, Saka's out, isn't he? So, but
yeah,
Eze, it will be Eze.
But by a distance, he was up against the fastest player in the league.
Oh, Elanga was very good tonight.
Well, they put the speeds up on Sky for last week with sprints. He was clocked at 37 kph. Frimpong is 35.4, and we think Frimpong is rapid as you like. So he'll come on better for that game. He'll improve for facing those kind of opponents in Semenyo and now Elanga. So he's going to be better for it. But at the same time, it's not going to get easier. But the more he plays, the more confident he's going to get. I mean, 10 days between two games probably didn't help him. But at the same time, look, he's 2 games into his Liverpool career. He'll be absolutely fine. Give him the benefit of the doubt and see where it goes. Okay. But
while I talk through a second goal, are you tagging Ashley's notes?
I am, yes.
That's good because Ashley, while not being able to make the show, is also still doing all the admin for us, which is very helpful. Second goal, it's a type of goal I fucking hate. It's a long punt up the field. Karate is out jumped. I'm not sure who he's battling with. He's out jumped. You know, you wish he wouldn't be, but that could happen. My frustration is Gravenberch doesn't follow his runner and he doesn't break his bollocks to basically try and get a block in. Now, credits to the striker. It's a brilliant finish because Allison's one of the best at one-on-ones and the little dink, very Michael Owen-esque dink over the keeper. It was great. And look, we all, me, you, Matt, and Ashley were all going, it's kind of what we deserve. I was pissed off, frustrated, going, this show's going to be horrendous, but I was kind of going, we got what we deserved. We can all have a go at Ibu and Kirkes, but the balance in front of that defence, it's too open. It's just the balance isn't quite right. Look, do I think Florian Wirtz is going to be brilliant for Liverpool? Of course he is. We know we've seen what he can be. Has he adapted to the league yet? Probably not, but it's 2 games in. There's an argument maybe he should have been took off a little bit sooner to give us a little bit more steel in the middle. Now, maybe that would have happened if a Bradley was fitter. So you could have brought him on. So because Bradley came on and looked like he hadn't played for a few months. You know, he looked off. So
look, that's where ultimately the Newcastle goal, the 2 Newcastle goals came from set pieces. All right, and individual.
Good job not playing a side that's good at set pieces. Next.
Set pieces and individual battles. Dan Burn is a handful in the air. So if you're going to be going up against him and you're Ibrahim Konate, you either give yourself space to get a leap on him, or you get a blocker in front or behind him. One of the two. He was the only target. He was the obvious target. They weren't going to try and target anyone else. It was always going to be Dan Burn. You put someone in between Konate and Dan Burn, and you stop Dan Burn running. All right, this is basic defending. It's basic 101. I remember Fabinho used to have a problem like this as well at one time when a forward would drop on him and to get away from Van Dijk. And because there was no blockers, he was losing out on a lot of balls in the air early on in his Liverpool career. Eventually, they worked around it and they sorted it and they fixed it. They've got to be better at defending set pieces, full stop. And it was their only outlet, really, that that they were going to get joy from is because that's when they got. It doesn't matter if you're down to 10 men when you have a set piece because you're behind anyway. You're just going to leave one less defender behind. You're going to have the numerical equality in a set piece situation. And my biggest gripe with how we handled the second half is we never stretched the pitch. We never pulled because they played 4-3-2. So the three in midfield, we never pulled them to the sides. We never opened up the middle of the park and stretched the game wide. And it frustrated the shit out of me. For 15 minutes after we scored, right, up until 65 minutes, we were absolutely fine. I was completely calm. They didn't have a kick. They didn't get anywhere near it. And then they got the goal, and
Kirkus
that
goal
gave them hope.
Yeah.
And once they have hope, look, we played with 10 men. We played with 9. We know what it's like. You need hope. And if you give them hope, you're away from home in that ground where the way the atmosphere was, then you're in a whole different ballgame for how the game is going. It was.
I mean, the concerning stat in a way for Liverpool is after we made it 2-0, our next shot on goal was actually Rio's.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's ridiculous to go against 10 men. But look, passing was off. Listen, how much time we knew we were losing McAllister, but listen, we had enough players there who should do better. Before we get into Ashley's slot comments, we'll do man the match, could do better, and honourable mention. I'll go first because I'm going to take the low hanging fruit. Man the match, Dominic Szoboszlai.
Fuck off.
Played out of position, excellent at right back. Wasn't as good central mid, but he'd done a lot of running and was great for the winning goal with the step over. Honourable mention. I'll give you another one for the honourable mention. I'll go with Ekitike. 2-2. What more can you ask? Must do better. Kirkers, Canarte, take your pick. Yours.
Honestly, did you just pick all the low hanging fruit? You could have left me with something, but no.
You got the easiest honourable mention or the easiest man of the match, which is the youngest ever goal scorer for Liverpool. I've kind of left you that open goal.
Look, in all honesty,
John O'Shea, McAllister played last week, and we had no control at 2-0. I think he went off at 2-0 up. He went off not long after 2-0 up. That might be why.
Yeah. Look, it's not just about the balance. It's overcommitting in attack and defending too. We're too pragmatic on the ball at times, and then when you throw in loose passing, on top of that, you invite pressure, and against the likes of a Bournemouth and Newcastle, Arsenal coming up, invite pressure. They'll fucking give it to you, and they'll give it to you in absolute spades. So, look, my man of the match, you're right. It just is. It's Dominic Szoboszlai. For the dummy alone, at the end, the composure and that on 100 minutes, having played at right back, inverted right back, centre mid, number 10. Pretty much every position on the pitch he played at some stage tonight. He was absolutely out of this world, outrageously good.
I think Neil Axon called it, is that he thinks Szoboszlai will become our Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva,
you know what? Great
started as a winger, and now basically, wherever they have an issue, they put Bernardo Silva there. Like they used to put him the fullback if they needed him to. I think that's what Szoboszlai is going to be for us because he's so versatile. You can play him wide, play him central, play him fullback, and you need a player like that.
Yeah, Madge makes a point here. Gravenberch and Bradley need more game time. I thought Ryan Gravenberch in the main. I was worried when we did our preview. I was worried about Gravenberch. One doing the 90, he ended up doing 100.
Early yellow as well.
Yeah, I was worried about his match sharpness, and at times it showed in the game. At times his lack of match sharpness did show, but he kept calling for the ball. He kept coming to the ball. He kept being available, and it was telling that whenever they tried during normal in-game play, not counter-attack, not set pieces, they didn't really get to jump on us on counters. because Gravenberch screens the back four as well as he could have done. I thought, look, he's going to get more match sharpness and he's going to be fine. Bradley hasn't kicked the ball in anger and God knows how long. And, again, we know what we're going to get with Conor Bradley. He does need game time. He does need minutes. The international break probably comes at a really good time for him to go with Northern Ireland, get some minutes and, get more training into his legs. But get a couple of games under his belt, come back, and he'll be in a good place. I'll go with him actually as my honourable mention because
Who's that? Who you got his
Ryan Gravenberch. Look, the goal, brilliant hit, relieved a lot of pressure with that goal, and having the audacity really to take the shot on, gave the keeper the eyes, and good daisy cutter, good goal, and could do better. Has to be Konate. It just does. I mean, he lost some important individual battles at times tonight. Some of his defending was okay, but it was just okay, subpar. I mean, we've seen him being we know the difference. We've seen him for long enough now. When he's good, he's really fucking good. But when he goes through spells like this, he's got that. He's got this rick in his game.
Maybe that's where if Liverpool do sign someone like a Guehi, that can sometimes help. Give him a little bit of a kick up the arse. Every player needs it. I remember Sami Hyypiä went through a certain dip and we bought Pellegrino in, who wasn't anywhere near as good, but he gave him a kick up the arse mentally, and that's all you need. Finnan had it with Hosami. So it does happen. Another one could do better. And it's controversial because he's ultimately his sub won us the game, but Arne Slot, some of the tactical setups were going, it isn't quite working in terms of being too open, and that's 2 games now. We've been 2-0 up, and
mate, it's not just 2 games in my opinion. I think I don't think we played well for a long time. I don't think we've strung together a proper 90 minutes of football since last season, and going back in last season, it's been a while. The balance in the squad, the balance in the side, the balance in the starting 11. If you're going to play 4-2-3-1, you're going to have Florian Wirtz as an out-and-out 10. You have to be more defensively solid and astute, and you have to be so much better on the ball. A lot of that lies on the players, but it's a lot of change. Yes, last season you were only changing the manager and the coaching staff and the methodology but the group was the same. This time you're bedding in a lot of new players into a side that absolutely demands and expects to win at all costs. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a rough ride. I think we're gonna get a few more games like this.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a few more nights like this before we get a settled pattern of play, a settled way of building out from the back and sustaining pressure when we have it. I think we're rushing the attacks too much, trying to force things that just aren't there instead of being more composed in the final third, moving the ball from side to side. Like he used to bore the shit out of people with the likes of Jordan Henderson passing from side to side. Sometimes you need to press sides in and pin them in and keep them there, because it's a great way to relieve pressure off yourself. Keep the ball in their final third and just keep them in there. If an opening comes up and you get a shot off, you get a corner out of something, great, fine, no problem. But for that 5 minutes that you have the ball in their final third, you're not defending. You're relaxed on the ball. And I haven't watched us being relaxed on the ball now for a while.
No, I think that's the frustration. Right, before we go to the comments, we also have a sponsor, Kev.
We do have a sponsor.
We do, NordVPN. So details are in the description below. Click on the link and get some great discounts for NordVPN. Listen, they're very secure, and also they're very good for helping you find things that aren't in your country. We'll let you work the rest out yourself. But NordVPN, we've been with them a few times. They are really good. So give them a try. Click on the link below. It also helps us out. Helps keep the channel running. So all good. Right, Kev, do you want to bring up the quotes? I'll read them out. Try not to balls them up too much. Right, VVD. I'm very, very pleased for Rio. I mentioned it to him before. This is just a start. Keep working, stay humble. Arne Slot, I'm not sure if I saw a football match today. It was set piece after set piece, long throw.
Okay.
Okay. Arne Slot on Rio. He has shown already a few times he means he is special. I think that was a dig at the ref he liked to make it very stop start, didn't he? Arne saying we didn't play well enough with the ball. Every time we came to an end phase of an attack, our attackers tried to force it, which is true.
Yes.
Arne Slot to Jamie Carragher, who said Liverpool lacked attacking threats from the bench. I do remember Jamie before the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, that said tongue in cheek, but both can be true, as in, he's pretty much made it now. I mean, he was basically bringing on a 16-year-old who's won us the game. Brilliant, but you can't rely on that every week. Chiesa, who he barely used last year, and Elliott, who were pretty much is out the door. So,
it's one of them. Look, I think this team is very, very far from the finished article. I think that at times in that first half hour when we just couldn't get any rhythm in the game, we killed the clock, and it's something that I was happy. I was happy to see it. No rushed long throws, no rushing with set pieces, walking from corner to corner, that kind of stuff. We were under the cosh in a big way, and the players sensed it, so they slowed the game down. If the referee is going to allow for a lot of silly free kicks and silly fouls, take the sting out of the game, and you eat the minutes out of it. You have to, you can lose the game in a moment, but it's as long as we've seen tonight, 111 minutes, 112 minutes. All it takes is one bit of magic to win you it as well. So, you all, how many times do you see it when you're going away from home? Ride out the first 15, ride out the first 20 minutes, and build yourself into the game. It took 30 minutes tonight before we finally built into the game. And when we did, eventually we got our first goal. And I thought from 35 minutes to 65 minutes, when we come out at the start of the second half and went bang 2-0, from 35 to 65, I thought we managed that really well. We kept the ball, we managed possession, and we pinned them in, and we worked that fine. Then we let them have hope. And from that, it went absolute bonkers fucking batshit nuts. And that kind of stuff, look, you're not going to win the league playing like this, like we have done for the first two games. But at the same time, we got 6 points on the board, and in your heart of hearts, it's going to settle down. It's going to settle down, and it will be absolutely fine. But it's going to take I think it's just going to take a while to blend this new group of players into a cohesive unit. And we just got to try and grind out results between now and then. I mean, Core mentions there no rhythm or flow in the game. Look, it's the Premier League. Some nights you're going to get games like that where it's absolute helter-skelter. And you saw with Newcastle, with the way they played. I mean, Bruno Guimaraes is a very lucky boy to be on the pitch at the end. Could have easily seen a second yellow a couple of times. And he wasn't alone. And he picked up some injuries as well tonight. So it was a mad game of football. Absolute mad game of football. But it's one we got 3 points out of. And as long as you don't see too many more crazy performances with the ball like that, I'm fine. I'll be grand. I'll sleep well tonight.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, as much as we're frustrated with some of the performances, we're made up with the win. And ultimately, this is why you don't make big judgments on teams after 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, so far, City have been handed the league last week, and now they're shite, apparently. And now Arsenal have been handed the league. I mean, it's 2 games. Let's see you have 10, 15, Christmas time. Christmas time tends to give you an idea where you are in the shake-up.
Yeah, but I think you'll know this season after. I think it'll take about 10 games to even itself. Gav was on about it the other night.
10, 11 normally gets you where you are.
Whereas I think last season, after 5 games, 6 games, you pretty much knew the levels of where everyone was.
Hmm.
After all of the games we've seen this season, after all of the games we've seen this season, it was so far. I think there's been a lot of change at a lot of clubs. No one has got a set rhythm yet. I watched the City Spurs game and I was like, before Spurs scored, City should have been 2-up. And by the time Spurs got their second, it's like City were clueless.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a while for it to even this season to even itself. I think this season's going to be really close. So in games like this, I think it's vital that you're picking points up.
Just take the points. Yeah.
Take the points and move.
Yeah, exactly. I also think after today until the 1st September, I think you're going to see a very busy window. And I don't just mean Liverpool. I think probably there isn't. I think every side still looks like they've got work to be done this week. I think it's going to be moved well. I mean, there's rumours now that City are looking to offload Akanji to Palace. So, Henkapi all of a sudden has become available, who Arsenal sniff around. I mean, Arsenal need another defender, don't they? They've only got 12. But,
yeah, I just think...
the interesting one is, if they're getting Henkapi, who's going to want to start as a left-back, surely you're not going to have... Unless Lewis Skelly's going to become a midfielder.
Yeah, I think he is.
That's what they must be doing.
Yeah.
Then if they got too many for the midfield, it'd be interesting. Maybe they have.
Yeah, I think this week... I mean, it's a bank holiday weekend in the UK, so...
Yep.
It's... Yeah, Liam makes a point there. Kieran Trippier, very lucky boy as well. With his early one of Florian Wirtz. It was a nasty one. But it tends to... And look, this is going to sound awful, but you get this with new players coming into the league where referees will let you get one on him. And especially if you're an experienced older head, the referees tend to let you have one. It's not right. It's not fair. It is what it is. But I honestly think you've seen that quite a bit.
Yeah. So there is that sort of stuff. But what would you like to happen for Liverpool before the end of the window? Because we're going to do this for the next week. And what do you think will happen?
We need to be busy. I come around to the thinking we need 3.
Been telling you, Kev.
No, you're not missing the 3. We need a centre midfield. We need a centre mid.
I'm coming around to that way of thinking now. Thinking I might sacrifice an attacker for a centre mid.
Yeah, definitely. I think, look, you need a centre back 100%. You need a striker 110%. I would feel much more comfortable having a second a defensive centre mid coming into that squad.
Like a Stiller.
Yeah, someone like him. Someone who can come in and, God forbid, anything happens to Ryan Gravenberch or Alexis McAllister. We pretty much know why Alexis McAllister isn't there tonight. But you're asking a lot of heavy lifting from those 2 players to do this season. I think there's enough even in the 90 minutes with the amount of changes. I thought the advent of 5 subs for Newcastle tonight helped them a lot. The fact that they were able to keep it fresh, they were able to keep their intensity up by making the substitutions. And I think in the season, having the ability to make the changes off the bench to keep the intensity levels up is a good way of doing it. I think if an opportunity comes up for a defensive-minded number 6, I think Liverpool should be all over it. And I would love it to be someone like... is it Onana at Villa?
I mean, I'd love
former Everton. Look, I know we're not going to get your man from Palace, but
that's the dream, isn't it?
He's not moving this summer. No. So someone like your man from Villa, and Villa are in the shit at the minute financially. Someone who you can have on the bench who can come. Look, God bless Endo, but Endo just he just ain't it.
Endo knows his job is to play League Cup games and to close out last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He's not built to be a starter, and Slot's not going to start him.
Yeah.
Which part of me goes, it's a win or loss. Because in some ways you go, he knows his role and he's not going to kick up a fuss. But then there's part of me going, I wouldn't mind having 1 week ago. Actually, we're not going to play Ryan this week, not because he's played bad. We're going to rest him because we've got PSG midweek. So we're going to start Stiller, in a tough Premier League game. That's what you'd quite like, that option, wouldn't you?
Dallas AFC fan in the chat there. Thanks for in the chat. always welcome fans from other clubs. How have you spent 300 million and have a weaker squad than last season? Well, that's up for interpretation, but at the same time, you have a look at what we've let go. It's all well and good spending the money, and we have spent the money. We've also sold extremely well this summer, and you're watching a side bedding in new players with 6 points on the board. Look forward to the weekend. Don't be a stranger, mate.
Arsenal won a game because we don't normally see they don't normally appear unless they've won a game. So, look, my I know we both agree on three. I would like a centre back. I think we all agree a centre back.
Yeah.
I think we all agree an attacker, ideally a number 9. I personally would like another wide forward, partly because I want to take the pressure off of Rio, where you can dip him in and out. But also, I'd rather have your 6th attacker being Rio.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sell Chiesa. As much as his song's lovely and
No, I get that.
I'd quite like us to have 5 senior attackers because that's a big thing that won us the league last year. And number 6 is Rio. We will get still plenty of minutes because Slot clearly likes him.
Yeah.
But
I think there's going to be a lot of. I think there's
you're not putting pressure on a kid. That's what I don't want.
I understand where you're coming from, and I think there's going to be a lot of business done in the window between now and next Monday. And no doubt in the week, we're definitely going to be doing transfer shows, probably every night or most nights this week, where we'll talk about what every club is doing, including us. I expect there to be outs and ins before Monday. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. At 11:15 tonight, Gav, on our Patreon, the QR code is up there if you're not a member of the Patreon. Look, try it for a month. Give it a go. On tonight's, Gav is doing a post-match extra where he will be looking in depth at the highlights, and you'll be able to watch the highlights with him as he goes through them and get your comments in and see what, as you're watching it again, see what you think second time round with a cooler head. And, we can do that kind of stuff on Patreon that we can't do on YouTube. So if you want to join, 11:15, link is on the screen. Give it a lash, see what the crack is. But Gav will be on there tonight, and pretty sure there'll be plenty of content coming up on there over the weeks to come. Chris,
I think that's it from us. I'm gonna go watch highlights. Go watch highlights, and then I'm gonna go and find the very active Newcastle accounts who were telling everyone how much Newcastle were gonna. John Letter was gonna batter them, and they were gonna turn us over and all that sort of stuff, and just enjoy myself really.
Yeah, look, we got 3 points in the bag, massive away win, but don't fucking get it twisted. We got out of fucking jail in a big way,
massively.
So they're the nicest wins. They're the nicest wins. The ones you don't deserve, the ones you stole. You stole 3 points, and you're openly cool about it. You're happy about it. You've got your Dick. I was looking for my Dick Turpin mask.
I was going to say, everyone has a mask.
Do you know what I mean? You just need a Dick Turpin mask to be able to just put on and say, look, we absolutely robbed you blind, and we're not apologising one bit.
Do you know when we have a win like this, I always think of, do you know when Alisson scored the winner against West Brom?
Yeah.
The video of John Gibbons, so he just goes, that fucking Devil's Club. That's what is the Devil's Club. That's why they all aces. It's great.
We better go. Guys, thanks to everyone in the chat. Don't forget the QR code. Gav will be live in 15 minutes over on Patreon. Give it a go. Look, helps us out, and you'll enjoy it, I promise. There's lots of good stuff on there. All right. Until then, boys and girls, onwards and upwards. Talk to you soon. Take care.
See you later. Bye-bye.